employees like garbage, thinks it's okay to call people names and sexually assault people. Dude, if the comments on this Facebook page are true, then he had an employee that had done something wrong or made a mistake or something, and he pulled her pants down on the showroom floor on a Saturday afternoon and in front of God and everybody.
So someone wrote that on the Facebook page that happened?
Yeah, somebody wrote that on the Facebook page, and it was more than one person who mentioned that happening. And so the pennies is like small potatoes compared to yanking somebody's damn pants down.
So this guy just opened up a whole book of everything that's gone wrong at this place. So the employees are probably not surprised that this dude paid the former employee's final check in pennies, because this guy's always an a-hole.
Right. Horrible management, treats people like scum on the bottom of his shoe. Never use them. The owner was very unprofessional, making sexually suggestive comments. Horrible company near my own town. Owner's a real piece of work. Treats his employees like trash, and even sexually assaulted a woman by pulling her pants down in the shop lobby while it was filled with men and screamed at her. And this is on their Facebook page.
Whether it's true or not, I'm going to say it's not good for business.
Right. He's probably the single worst boss in the history of the world.
I want to know what you have to do to get your boss to pull your pants down. Not that I want my boss to pull my pants down. I want to know
what do you got to do to make that happen?
How do you get that? Is it only on Fridays? Because it sounds fun. Oh, I mean, what would justify in his mind that that's the punishment appropriate?
Right. What is he thinking?
I don't know, but I want to find out.
I've never had a boss that bad. I mean, I had a guy that when my brother died in 2000, I was kind of expected. He had AIDS, but we didn't expect it at that moment. And when I got the call and went and told him, he said, "Well, you're going to record your show for the week, right?" No, dude, my brother just died. I'm about to bounce.
Yes.
What are you thinking, dude? No, I'm not doing that. I got fired after that.
That's a horrible boss.
I think so too. I don't believe it. I believe his compassion level was way low. And he tried to embarrass me in a staff meeting in front of all of the account executives and the air staff of 3 radio stations. And I took it to the house and like challenged him on it. He's like, "Well, I'll just fucking voice track that whole radio station." I'm like, "Shut up and do it then. It's your place. Do it."
Did you almost just say the bad word? You're fired up. You are fired up.
No, I didn't almost say that. What are you talking about, Danny?
We need to call this guy.
I don't know about all.
What would you say to him? What would you say to him if we called him?
I mean, I would just ask him if he still treats people that way, if he still expects people to put his business number one in their lives.
I've had pretty good bosses. I would say probably Carson, if I had to pick one, would be my
Carson?
Worst. Yeah, remember old Carson Kennedy?
Yeah, Carson's my best friend. Of course I know that. I mean, of course I remember. He treated you badly?
I don't think it was bad as much as if I had to pick the worst one.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So he wouldn't actively, he just, if you had to pick.
If I had to pick, I mean, he wasn't the best, but I don't hate the guy, but he wasn't the best. Well, what about you? What do you think our old midday boy, Ross Turner, thinks?
I was just about to bring him in. He's ready to go here. Ross is on with us. Ross, you have a worst boss story?
Ross the boss.
Yeah. Worst. Okay. Since my boss is looking me in the eyes right now, not recently. I work for family. I did HVAC for years, and I work for family. And the worst part about working for family is you can't not show up because they know who you are. They know where you live. They know what you do. And I mean, one time I showed up with the flu. I crapped my pants on the job site. I was so sick, but with a straight face. My brother-in-law looked me in the eyes, like, "Take them off in the bathroom, throw them out, and come out here. We need you." And I was like, "Okay."
I
And I was
quit.
like, I'm not getting out of this one.
901-535-9898. I'd love to hear about your worst boss ever. Word.
I didn't know where to go. Are we calling? I mean, I didn't know what the tease was. How are we getting? I didn't know how we were getting out of it. Sorry.
98.1 The Max. Good morning. Hello. Anybody out there?
Is it turned up?
No, and I hung up. Damn. Sorry, dude. He wasn't talking though, or it would have shown up on the Vox Pro. No, it wouldn't have because it wouldn't turned up. Duh. What an idiot. Does it have to be? Yes. 98.1 The Max.
Hey, I got a horrible boss story.
I'd love to hear it.
All right, so I was 6 months pregnant at my first real job in my early 20s, and my dog got hit by a car. So I took off the next day because I was absolutely devastated. And the boss called me in his office the next day to tell me that I should grow up and not take a day off, but just because my dog died.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty terrible. But then I worked for him for 7 more years after that. So.
Do you know if your boss had a dog?
Yes, he did, but he was kind of heartless.
Wow. Yes,
Like
I would say so. It helps if they have dogs and children.
Yeah. Yeah. I cried a lot. It was pretty terrible.
Oh, well, thank you for calling. What's your name?
Thanks. It's Ashley. Love
Ashley.
you guys.
Be careful, Ashley.
Thanks. Bye.
Ashley's just on all the time.
Right. Go, girl.
I had a brilliant idea last night.
I'll be the judge of that.
When we get a phone call, I'm going to put the name of the topic in all caps and then like either the caller's name or what they said as the title. So when I export it to a folder, all we got to do is hit sort by alphabet and all our topics are going to be nicely lined up. So if we ever go back to like worst boss, we'll have Ashley's phone call from 3 years ago. I see we have joined social media.
Okay, so
So
we have a rejoiner right here. Oh, now it's gonna mess me up. Okay, but do we want to tease? Do you want Ashley to play? And then tease what we're doing next? What are we doing next? What's the Danny Carson setup? You know, I got to tell you, I'm kind of like in your situation where all my bosses have been fairly. We're gonna call my boss next.
well, that is going to be that we'll play that at the kind of like toward the end of the break, and then I'll call you out after we play that. I'll be like, all right, well, let's call him then. And you can, well, I mean, that sets up that we're going to call, but yeah, this is pretty much the end of the break, and then we're going to call him next. Is the last part.
Call who? Oh, we're gonna call Carson next.
Yes.
Okay, how are we gonna get into Carson? How are we gonna get into Danny Carson setup?
We're going to play this phone call, and then I'm just going to hit the button.
But we
Well-
haven't set up who Carson is yet, have we?
Yeah, we just did, didn't we?
I think we need to go. Okay, I worked for him back in 2004. You worked for him.
Okay, we can do that. We'll play the phone call, do that, and then we'll play the setup where Ross is in on it, and then.
Okay, but what is the first thing I say? Because you're gonna have to talk first before we hit it. Let me hear it. I got to tell you, I'm kind of like in your situation where all my bosses have been fairly good.
Mhm.
But my worst
Well,
one,
I'll get into it by saying, Ross said his bosses were always, they were decent, except for family. and then you
Okay.
can say, then you'll say that. No, you won't. It'll be you on the computer, but
gotcha.
I mean, not that you're not on the computer now, but
It's not the same one.
different computers. All right, and do we need to rejoin to do the?
A rejoin to what? Get out? Do we need a rejoin to get out of
Oh, no.
Carson's bad boss?
Not this one. No. Oh, we need to. Okay. Now I know what you mean. Now I'm smelling what you're stepping in. Maybe we'll have time. Nope, not gonna need time. Okay. You know what I hate? Back
Yeah.
zits.
What?
You know what I hate?
What?
Back zits.
That's disgusting. I don't know anybody that likes them.
That would be weird. You know what I love? Back zits.
Man, yeah.
Just love it when they hurt in that one spot and you can feel it no matter how you move. And you can't reach it to get rid of it.
That's
Nobody
what
will
your
pop,
spouse is for.
nobody will pop it for you because gross back zits.
It's gonna be a long one, man.
Yeah, but there's beer involved. We'll sleep good tonight. When we finally go to bed at like 10:30.
You're listening to Danny and Country Corey on 98.1 The Max.
Worst boss ever. Not
So-
everybody has one.
No, if you don't, you're one of the lucky ones. 901-535-9898. We were talking about this Georgia auto repair shop that paid the guy in pennies. Turns out the guy's a piece of work, screaming obscenities at people, yanking people's pants down allegedly. I mean, it's like Wild Wild West out there.
So it sounds like this was so his character to pay the pennies, but I'm sure he didn't realize all the backlash he was going to get.
Oh, his Facebook page is covered up with just brutality. And your worst boss was my best friend, which I don't know what that says about me and my choice of friends. And my worst boss was a radio station in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. So who wanted me to record each show for a week right after my brother died, which wasn't going to happen. 901-535-9898. I want to hear about your worst boss.
Hey, I got a horrible boss story.
I'd love to hear it.
All right, so I was 6 months pregnant at my first real job in my early 20s, and my dog got hit by a car. So I took off the next day because I was absolutely devastated. And the boss called me in his office the next day to tell me that I should grow up and not take a day off just because my dog died.
Wow.
Yeah, it
That's-
was pretty terrible. But then I worked for him for 7 more years after that. So,
Do you know if your boss had a dog?
yes, he did, but he was kind of heartless.
Wow. Yes,
Sounds like it.
I would say so. It helps if they have
Yeah,
dogs and children.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right about that, because it's been my experience that bosses without children really don't understand the time involved to raise them.
Right, exactly. And they appreciate, if you say our current boss is the one who taught me that Christmas programs come first.
Right.
So I'm not gonna remember what I did at work that particular day, but I will remember that Christmas program because usually they're god awful. But you gotta go.
you gotta have that video on your phone after school, or you're not a good parent.
But
Right.
I remember being, years ago, a boss of people and be like, I didn't get it. I'd be like, God, your children are a lot of work. They're really getting in the way of your job. But then once you have them, you go, oh,
Right.
Yeah, they are a lot of work.
And
The only-
it turns out you can't just raise them after business hours. I don't know what happened.
Exactly. Now, your best friend, I did not know that you guys were best friends with Carson. So Carson worked across the street, and he was my boss from 04 to 06.
And then I came to Memphis and worked for him 06 and 07.
Right. So we crossed paths for a few months there, but you knew him prior to that because I can't. Okay.
Yeah, he and I met in Huntsville in 2001.
And became friends then.
Right.
Was he your boss in Huntsville?
No.
That's why you were friends. I see. Okay.
Ross Turner is still on with us. What were you saying?
What did you think of him as your boss then at the Q?
I quit.
Exactly. Okay. So I'm not that crazy.
I quit the job without another job to land on. So what does that tell you? Ross Turner is still on with us, and he's like you, Danny. He never really had a bad boss, but he did work with family, which sucked.
You know, I got to tell you, I'm kind of like in your situation where all my bosses have been fairly good, but my worst one happens to be Corey's best friend.
Okay.
So how awkward is this going to be when we call him right now?
Oh, perfect.
It's gonna be weird. There will not be a later conversation about this at all, I'm sure.
And by the way, everybody's gonna be like, "Hey, how are you doing?" Blah 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 blah. We're talking a big game right now. The pleasantries are gonna come out immediately. Watch.
Oh, I'm gonna totally just be like, "Oh, I had to name somebody Carson, and so I knew you'd answer. I love you. You're really my favorite. I knew you'd just get the joke."
Yeah.
Well, let's see how it goes down, buddy. Just for that, get ready. Bitch is on.
Oh, we're gonna be like that, are we? Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
come on, bring it. Let's
All
just style them up.
less than 10 minutes, we'll call him and let Danny confront her worst boss ever. That was fun.
I had a panic attack in the middle. I was like, wow, are we getting into it? I forget. I know we discussed it. Don't let him down. Don't let him down. Don't let him down.
Yeah, it ain't about letting me down. It's about the audience.
Eric said on our text line, worst boss ever. I worked for a forklift company in Memphis. I'm not going to say which one. It is yellow forklift stars with Y, but the boss said it doesn't take two people to have a baby, and my wife was in labor at the time I walked off.
Doesn't take two people to have a baby.
Oh my God.
That's a piece of work right there. Made Margo listen to that after I edited. I thought it was funny. I punched him right in the mouth. And you and Ross are like, "Ooh, what can we do?" Like you said that.
Sounds like you made a bunch of excuses. Learned how to make a bunch of excuses.
And then Carson came back and punched me right in the mouth. I'm surprised you're not smoking right now.
All right. So that is 4 minutes.
Yep.
So we'll just go straight into that, right?
Yep.
And then we need a rejoiner at the end of it. And then you'll come back. After it, or do I come back and say
You challenge me.
okay? So
I'll be like, all right, fine, I'll do that. And then in about an hour, we'll have old boy on. Or do you want to start this break with in about an hour, we'll have old boy on?
I'm thinking. I'm thinking.
I know. I got here right on time. Beer involved. Ugh. Decided to work on that novel.
Hang on. Does it just start with the phone number? I mean, does it just start with you dialing?
Yeah. You want to read something off the text line first?
Yes, good idea.
That text we got is a really good one. Good morning, Amber. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Okay. How's that look?
Oh, that's what you were typing.
Yep.
Works for me. It may work out pretty good to do my little phone call right before the morning wood.
Yep, you're right. It's perfect.
I'll play the winter morning wood back right after 8.
Good morning, Amber. We're like really into planning today. We got lots of different working parts.
Very, very plan. It's a very planning day, isn't it?
It is a planny day.
We're just planning today. I don't know why. Here we go.
You're listening to Danny and Country Corey on 98.1 The Max.
Who's the worst boss you ever had? We're going to call Danny's worst boss, who just happens to be my best friend. But first,
don't forget, guys, vaccine open appointments. They open up for all Shelby County for anyone over 16. We're going to have infectious disease Dr. Stephen Threckeld on the air with us in 1 hour to answer any of your questions. So get them in now on our text line, 901-535-9898.
the worst boss ever story from our Rick's Powder Coating line. Worst boss I ever had was at a fast food restaurant. Everybody hated her. I dropped a burger patty on the ground and tossed it immediately in the trash. She saw me and asked what I threw away, so I told her. She demanded I run all inventory by her before throwing something away. I told the customer waiting that she wanted me to put a dropped patty on his burger. Long story short, he calls the district manager and demands he do something about it. 20 minutes later, the district manager walks in, asks me what happened, confirms it with other employees, then fires her. In less than an hour, we had a replacement manager.
Wow.
It's a crazy story.
Oh, I love Eric, worst boss ever on our Rick's Powder Coating text line. I worked for a forklift company in Memphis. My wife was going into labor. I told the boss, he says, you don't need to leave. It doesn't take two people to have a baby.
Oh, snap. All right. So my best friend Carson is on the radio in Boston, Massachusetts. He was Danny's worst boss ever. And we're going to call him so Danny can confront him. We got Ross on to be a part of this too. So here we go.
We're really doing it.
Yeah, it happened. I know my best friend's number.
Oh my God.
We're doing it right now.
Hello?
Hey, buddy, what's happening?
I knew it was you.
You knew it was me. Well, not a lot of 901 numbers call you these days, is there?
No, I get spam calls all the time from 901 numbers.
So we were talking about our worst boss ever, and somebody wants to talk to you.
I didn't say I want to talk to him. You asked who my worst boss ever was, and I said Carson. And you decided to call him.
I cannot argue with that. I was a terrible boss. I was a moron. I agree with that 100%. I had no idea what I was doing. I was terrible to a lot of the really good people that worked for me. Absolutely agree.
Well, you need to apologize to Danny right now.
He already has. He has, actually.
I want to know how you know you were the worst.
Okay, Carson. So Ross Turner, our midday guy, is on with us, and he wanted to witness it because he thought I'd pansy out and just be like, "Oh no, Carson, I love." Which here's the deal, really, honestly, Carson, I haven't really had a bad boss. You weren't that bad. I just had to pick one.
No, I just think at the time I was the boss there. There was a lot going on. There was a lot of moving pieces. I didn't know what I was doing. I was trying to figure out. I had only been a program director for about a year. I wasn't really good at managing people. And, everything that you could do wrong as a boss, I probably did wrong as a boss, which is why when I left there, I said to Kennedy, I was like, I am never doing that again because I have realized there are some things that I'm good at. There's not a lot of them, but there's definitely a lot of things I'm bad at. And one of them was managing people. So I've sworn to never do that again.
One thing you've gotten really good at over the years is making excuses.
What? Shut up, Corey.
Poor guy. I thought that was a really honest
Well, let me tell
answer,
you,
man.
Carson, I was going to say, I think everything you said must be a prerequisite because you have explained my life completely.
Corey's talking all this smack, but Corey is the guy that calls me every day going, hey, I had this idea. What do you think about that? So don't let Corey fool you. I'm surprised you're not out smoking a cigarette during this bit, Corey.
Oh, he knows.
I
Oh, he
cut
knows.
For me back then, I mean, I'm not speaking out of school here. There was a lot of partying going on at that radio station. And so it was just so out of control, all of it.
And Carson
Right.
means at the
And,
radio station. It's not just the people that work there were partying. It was going on at the
No.
radio station.
Oh, it was happening in the bathrooms. It was happening in offices. It was just, it didn't matter. Yeah.
It's the
It's
Wild
all
Wild
hours
West.
of the day and night. No, it really was. But that being said, I would not trade those people that I work with for anybody else. We had so much fun in the rating, despite of my screw ups. We just had such talented people on the air that the ratings were spectacular at the time.
Carson actually did give me my favorite piece of advice as a PD ever. When I got
Okay.
there, I was always kind of a rock girl. So we're on top 40. So I'm like, hey, man, here's Britney Spears, dude. And he looks at me and goes, all right, what I want you to do is put down the weed and pick up the Coke. No, he wasn't being literal at the time. But
And I probably gave you an 8-ball that I got from a record label. Look how that happened.
Now back to Danny and Country Corey on 98.1 The Max.
well, it wasn't bad because he knew he sucked.
Yeah, he kind of owned it, didn't he?
He did own it. I want to see you own it. We're going to call the guy that was your worst boss. You want to do it? I found his number that whole time. I've been over here.
Please, you really gonna make me?
You remember when you're like, what are you typing over there? You're blah, 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 blah. I was on my Google machine, mofo. I got his
You
number.
gonna make me call this guy?
Yes. You made me call my worst boss.
Well, I mean, I did it. You didn't call him, but now I got to call. Okay, all right. I'll put my big boy pants on.
Put your pants on and act like a man.
All right, we'll call him my worst boss ever next. That works, right? Yeah, traffic.
But we've learned now we can't copy and paste if it's going to say now back to. What?
That's the problem. The now back twos are just put in there because
Right.
that's what I was talking about the other day. That we need to take those out if we're just going to use that one rotator.
Right. That was good. I mean, the punchline was worth the call. I'll never forget him telling me that.
I thought it was a good call. I thought it was entertaining all the way through.
Oh yeah, definitely. But the punchline's just Danny, put down the weed and pick up the I'll never forget. And it stuck.
Right.
He was speaking my language. Just kidding.
I'm glad you lived through it.
I can't believe we all did. It was out of control. And then I just remembered when you said Carson apologized to Danny. That's one of Biggie's favorite stories when Carson said, Biggie apologized to Danny. He said something like, hey, Danny, can I stick it in your butt? Something like that right in front of Carson. He was like, what? And I mean, I don't know. Biggie and I were just kind of stupid like that.
Right.
I didn't think anything of it.
It's like, apologize to Danny right now.
That's what he said. I mean, like as if he was his father. It was hilarious.
I didn't think anybody could get Biggie Smalls to apologize.
Biggie, can't you see? All right.
You gotta apologize to Danny.
Yep. How do we start your this call?
With the dialing of the phone.
Okay, well, I can call him from here.
Okay.
Don't you think?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That works. I'm gonna hit that morning wood and be like, oh no, look, we gotta move on. And then you're gonna be like, no, I got the number. I'm dialing it.
Okay. All right. What how does it end?
With me apologizing.
Okay, so do you want to hang up and just sit here and stare at each other? Or
Yeah, that's gonna work for a minute.
okay.
Quietly. Let that awkwardness just kind of sit in the air. You know what I mean?
Yep. And then we'll hit Morning Wood again.
Yeah. Really want to feel it. The awkwardness. You just gotta feel it. What are you laughing about now?
Just if I want to put a note on here so I don't forget, but I don't want you to see my note.
Okay.
Hello, text. Hello, text. Dear Dr. Threckeld, how much time should we be chatting?
Good question. Good question.
Great question, Barbie. Thank you.
Who knew Barbie had such a big brain? All right. Great question.
Oh,
It's a question. If you're playing D&D, you're a question. See, and all this is original audio, so it can go anywhere at any time.
it can go anywhere at any time. I mean, we own it. We own it.
Yeah, more rain's coming.
So why didn't the drum kit just come with a pillow? I thought that was funny that I thought of that while I was watching your thing. Because I was staring at that drum set kit, watching them, because it was just up there for an hour.
Yeah.
Because it's always like a dirty, ratty pillow, too.
Well, you ain't going to use one of Mama's good pillows.
That's why it should just come with a pillow.
It should. The My Pillow people should get in it with Tamaha or whatever, Tama drums and the Tama drum with a My Pillow. Need to pull that as one of those personality drops. Why don't the drum kit just come with a pillow? Or why does the drum kit come with a pillow? Whatever you said, that's what we need to do. Got to remember to take that. I mean, what the hell are you typing? You're just not saying nonstop, man.
I wasn't. I was just hitting them, waiting to see when you would. I couldn't keep a straight face. I was going so fast, I wouldn't even hit anything.
I was reading this story and I was like, wow, is she writing an email? Good God. Ridiculous.
Oh, thanks, Vicky. Oh my God. Oh, I don't know if I like pranking you or the audience better.
I like it because about 3 times a morning you have to wipe your eyes.
Right? Because
You can't wear eye makeup before 10 o'clock.
I don't know what we're doing now. Now I'm all nervous.
Don't be. You're gonna make me call.
You're listening to Danny and Country Corey. All right! On 98.1 The Max.
Worst boss ever. Corey's best friend happens to be my worst boss ever. So he just dialed him on up. Wanted me to tell him. Thank you.
Yep, and now we're moving on.
Mornings on The Max with your Morning Wood.
Buddy.
Headline is the real what?
No, buddy. I'm not gonna let you call me out and call your worst boss. I mean, my worst boss, and confront him without doing it to you. So I Googled, figured out. You shouldn't have told me where it was the last station. I got it. I'm like investigator on Google. So I'm gonna call your boss. You have to talk to him. Now, look, you knew my worst boss. I can't say anything because I can't. What am I gonna say?
Yeah, this guy's an old man, old crotchety.
So you're gonna have to. I'm gonna dial the phone, but you have to take over. Okay. Do it, man. Grow some.
All right.
This is
Hi, can I speak to please?
I'm sorry, he's passed away.
Oh, my bad. Thank you. Guess we're not going to talk to him.
Should I feel bad or should you?
You're the one who made me do it.
Oh my God.
Okay. Well, can we move on now?
Oh my God.
Mornings on The Max with your Morning Wood.
Okay.
Which Morning Wood headline is the it's a real headline.
Would Corey call his worst boss and he end up dead?
Wow. That's okay. That happened. That happened.
Okay, that's not the real headline. Would a Labrador Retriever choose the new CEO of PetSmart?
Would a California zoo now barcode animals to track interactions with trainers?
Or would a smoking hot wife write an obit for dead sexy husband?
901-535-9898. Got some Alco movie passes if you can guess the correct Morning Wood headline.
It doesn't feel right today. The Morning Wood just doesn't have the umph.
98.1 The Max. Who is this?
This is Scott. How y'all doing this morning?
It's a little awkward.
A little.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a little
You
awkward.
can say that, sure. Let's see.
Scott, can you believe that I made him call a dead man?
I know that was kind of odd. That was kind of odd.
Anyway, which Morning Wood headline is the real headline, Scott?
Let's go with number 3.
Number 3 is correct. Yeah.
Woo!
Got you a couple of Malco movie passes, Scott.
Plus your Morning Wood because
I've
it's
been to a
smoking hot.
movie.
Go
What was
ahead.
that, Danny?
I said you got some Morning Wood because that smoking hot wife, and you just got it
There you
right.
go.
All right, let me get a little info from you, Scott.
I don't know how to move forward. Yeah, Susan, you think? Mary Deaton, that is hilarious.
Will you make sure we're on time real quick, Danny?
Time. I don't know how you want to do this. I'm thinking. I can't hear you if you want to talk to me. Okay, because this is what you want to do after Stones, and then we'd have to come out of Bush.
Wait, what? Oh,
Do you want to come out of Stones or do you want to come out of Bush and have this as our 8-12 break?
Are you gonna move the Stones, or what are we doing? I'm not following what you're asking
Okay.
about.
Do you want to, after the Stones or right now, do Morning Wood, or do you want to make it our 8-12 break?
Oh, let's make it 8-12.
Gotcha.
Or do you think the momentum from what we just did, we need to?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's do that then.
We can go right here, though, if you want, before
Hey,
the Stones.
We could put a stop right here if you want.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do it now.
Okay.
And then we'll have 2 songs to go do whatever. And 3.
Headline news.
Dan
I already threw you a damn party. I ain't washing your dishes. for you.
and Country Corey
There's too many damn celebrities to keep up with nowadays anyway.
on 98.1 The Max. Mornings on The Max with your Morning Wood.
Which Morning Wood headline is the actual headline for today? Would a Labrador Retriever choose the new CEO of PetSmart?
Would a California zoo now barcode animals to track interactions with trainers?
Or would a smoking hot wife write an obit for dead sexy husband?
98.1 The Max. Good morning. Who's this?
This is Scott. How y'all doing this morning?
It's a little awkward.
A little.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little
You can
awkward.
say that, sure.
Scott, can you believe that I made him call a dead man?
I know that was kind of odd. That was kind of odd.
Anyway, which Morning Wood headline is the real headline, Scott?
Let's go with number 3.
Number 3 is correct. Yes.
Outstanding.
Got you a couple of Malco movie passes, Scott.
Plus, you got some Morning Wood because that smoking hot wife, and you
There
just
you
got
go.
it right.
A Nebraska mother of 3 is catching some attention for the obituary that Crystal wrote for her husband, Eric. We're not positive, she notes, but we think the cause of death was either leukemia or more likely being dead sexy.
That is awesome. Good for her.
I love it. The obituary lists Eric's passions as in this order: his smoking hot wife, his brilliant kids and family, his many friends, the Boston Red Sox, and more. It went on to say he is preceded in death by billions, including his dog Harvey, who most of us love to hate. And for those finding the obituary humor distasteful, Crystal says she wanted to show show who Eric was, so people knew he wasn't just some sick dude. And the memorial service was held on March 4th with a notice that admission is free to all who want to attend this once-in-a-lifetime show for the greatest man on earth.
I just love it. Way to go. And I'm sure Eric had a little bit to do with it before. Maybe she, ran it by him,
Probably so, yeah.
but it's adorable.
It's gotta be weird to write your obituary, like sit down with your spouse and be like, all right, let's write my obituary. That's to be in the kind of frame of mind to make it that funny seems to me like it would be really tough. Hey, you got 4 days left. You're dying of leukemia. We need to write an obituary real quick.
Yeah, but that's how I'd want mine. And if for some horrible reason I died before my parents, my mother would make sure it was nothing like this and exactly like how it's supposed to be. For heaven forbid if I had anything to say about how my wedding invitations were going to look like. No, it's got to have that senseless piece of paper in there, tissue paper that nobody knows what it's for. There's no way that would be allowed. You know what I mean? But that
Right.
to me is great. That shows her personality. It shows his personality. We need to relax a little bit in life and death.
Coming up at 8:40, infectious disease. Dr. Stephen Threkeld will join us. Oh, it's 8:35, I guess, as we get ready to open the floodgates tomorrow.
That is right. Coming up next. Ooh, you don't think it's a big deal. I think it's huge what this NHL referee did to be fired, making up penalties.
Coming up next, first the Stones on the Max. The Rolling Stones, darling.
You know what's
98.1 The Max. Good morning.
Hey, Corey,
Yo.
do you think your old boss wrote his own obituary?
No, he probably made his wife do it.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
That's funny. Thanks, dude. We appreciate that.
I'm gonna look up his obituary.
Who, Eric?
No, your boss.
Oh, all right. Go for it.
I think I should leave your boss alone at this point. He's dead.
Yeah, we should probably.
Do you need a minute?
Nope.
Okay, I do, because while we were doing that break, something was tapping me on my feet. That is not creepy at all, right?
Was it human or dog?
I'm thinking it's human. and I'm
Okay.
thinking she's still hiding under me.
Okay. Well,
If you're hiding under my chair, say bananas.
bananas.
That's creepy. All right, say Pop Tart. If your dad is going to get mad because you're not dressed yet, say hallelujah. Huh? Oh, I got another tap on my. We're wasting time.
Morning, Bill.
We were fully dressed. I forgot it was crazy sock day.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
How could you have forgotten that? Is it nap time yet?
I know.
It's a solid 7 o'clock hour. I got food today.
I'm jealous.
Margot made me some more muffin things.
Ah,
Frittatas or empanadas or whatever the hell they are. They're delicious. I know that. Is George Clooney still hot?
if I couldn't hear him, yes.
So silent George Clooney, hot. Noisy George Clooney, not so much. Right, got it.
Sorry, I'm trying to get up to date on this.
You're listening to Danny and Country Corey.
Can you dig it?
On 98.1 The Max.
NHL referee Tim Peel was fired after he got caught on a hot mic admitting he purposely called a lame penalty against the Nashville Predators. Here it is.
12:42 to go in the second.
It wasn't much, but I wanted to get a penalty against Nashville early.
And I don't know why you're so up in arms about it. I mean, if they committed a penalty, it doesn't matter if it's a lame penalty or not. It's a whistle. And you know what I mean?
What I don't like is that he said it wasn't much, but I wanted to get a penalty against Nashville early in the. So which way is it? he's saying he had a reason to call the penalty. The only reason for the penalty to be called is if it's a penalty.
Right. And if he called the penalty, it probably was, but he may have wanted to establish a tone of the game. I don't know. Everybody's up in arms and acting like he's like anti-Nashville and threw the penalty just to, I don't know. The guy, who knows, the referee. They're not the best in the world. I mean, they make mistakes. They're not perfect.
I agree. I agree that they make mistakes. This one is intentional.
I'd like to hear the rest of that audio, though.
There is none. It got cut off.
Shocker.
Well, it was live audio, and they weren't supposed to be on live.
Oh, okay. That's what it was. So it was
right.
The
So
original was cut off then.
Correct.
Okay.
So he called the Predators forward for tripping early in the second period. That he says that it was, I don't think that referees, it shouldn't be an opinion. It should be, is it a penalty or not? It wasn't much, but I wanted to get a penalty against Nashville early. I wanted to get a penalty against Nashville early. That is not determining that is not being objective. Is that the right word, or subjective?
Objective. Yeah, you were right. You're right. Let's listen to him say it.
12:42 to go in the second.
It wasn't much, but I wanted to get a penalty against Nashville early.
I don't know. It just doesn't sound malicious to me.
I wanted to get a penalty. That is not your decision. If there's a penalty, right? Those are the key words there.
I wanted to.
I wanted to. Right. That's a little.
Have you ever done any sports refereeing?
Not on purpose, no.
Right. I umpired a Bartlett High School softball scrimmage one time. I'll never do that again.
Oh, I bet the parents hated you, didn't they?
Oh, everybody did, and especially me. I'm not made for that. I'm not a rigid stick to my guns type of guy. If somebody wants a strike, I'll give them a strike. Somebody wants a ball, I'll give them a ball. I just wanted to call a penalty against Nashville early.
Now, look, with that being said, I have a much appreciation for referees. These parents that just go off on referees, I don't get it. They're out there, like you said, they're going to make mistakes. Or like if something happens, like with a doctor malpractice or an accident, and, they go after people. We're human, like you said. People are going to make mistakes, including referees. But unfortunately, this goes on a lot. And I know that they try to even out the penalties. What's sad is this guy was retiring in a month. He's done over 1,400 games. Yeah. Yes. So looking at all of that, it sucks that he got fired with a month to go because he got caught on mic. In the world we live in now, you get caught on mic, you're screwed. And it does happen. But a mistake and I wanted to really doesn't resonate with me very well.
We just got a text from the Rick's Powder Coating line. This NHL ref shows his bias and willingness to make bias calls in order to directly affect the game. Did he call the opposing team for the same minor infraction? No. So he was cheating, and cheating is not allowed.
And that's one of those things, like, if you think it, okay, but don't say it out loud. I wouldn't even admit to the other referee that's what I did.
Right?
If it is ref code and it's been going on, that other referee knows what you did. You don't have to tell him.
Right? You can just give him the old good old boy wink, wink.
Yeah.
Look at that wink, wink. Well, a safety for Ohio State named Marcus Hooker is facing drunk driving charges after he passed out behind the wheel in a McDonald's drive-thru. Who hadn't done that? Cops tried to wake him up by banging on his window, rocking his car, and blasting their siren. Eventually, they had to break one of his car windows, and he still didn't wake up.
Well, I'm in a love.
No, I don't have that audio handy.
I've got it. I apologize. That's my bad. It is unbelievable. I know what you just said. You said that everybody has been there before. I don't know that everybody has, but listen to what goes down and he doesn't wake up. He is so passed out. Thanks for being behind a wheel of a car. We appreciate that, dude.
Is the car unlocked? Is his foot on it? The brake?
Yep.
Man, I was hoping for something else. Hey, big guy! Hit him with a little whoop whoop for me.
Wow. Leave him to squelch.
You got this out, man. I don't want to break.
I think we're gonna have to break this glass.
I think so. Grab him. I do too. Still not woke.
Wow, crazy.
Broke his glass and he still didn't wake up. Can't get a little whoop whoop. I love that part. Can't get a little whoop
Whoop, whoop.
whoop. That's pretty bad. You know, he's probably a really big guy. So I would like to know the amount he had to drink to be that passed out.
Oh, wow. I bet it was intense. Coming up at 8:35, we'll have Dr. Threkeld, an infectious disease doctor, member of the Shelby County COVID Advisory Board, and he saved Danny's life one time. We're going to have him on to answer questions about the vaccination rollout.
Yeah, so if you have anything that you've ever wanted to ask him and you're still doubting it, and you shouldn't be because we all get to sign up tomorrow, you got a few minutes to text us on our Rick's Powder Coating text line. Your question now, 901-535-9898.
I like how you just picked up there.
What? Because I forgot to send all my audio and upload it today?
No, I mean, in the tease, you just picked up.
Oh, I just went. I mean, reading you, man. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
Dude. I'm with you. I feel like I got puffy sleeves and I can do this today.
I got puffy sleeves so my arms can breathe. Yeah, Patricia, you're right. Need a boat to get around today. Today's not Thursday, it's Ducks Day. You know what's weird? I was thinking about this the other day. Everybody always wants it to be Friday, but nobody wants to get older as quickly as they want it to be Friday. Because you think about it, about every 52nd time you were looking for Friday, you're a year older.
Right.
Trisha likes Thursday. She must be off on Fridays. All right, is he calling me?
Yeah, but not for 15 minutes.
Oh, okay, that's right. All right, so what are we going to do here? We're just going to tease it again?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's what I was just reading. The weather it looks like it's getting, it's pretty intense. We'll face more potentially damaging and dangerous weather conditions into tonight as the second and most powerful storm of the week threatens to bring violent thunderstorms and same time continues the risk of flooding rainfall. I mean, that red blob is right going right through us. That's annoying. I'm sorry.
What do you mean? Look.
No, I don't mean the radar.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
I'm not looking at the. If you hit threat for tornado return to storm rattled, I'm looking at. Yes, baby.
Oh, okay. You're looking at the storm, whatever.
Hang on a second.
retired. Heck yeah. Here comes the rain again. 38 seconds.
Weather doctor.
Sounds good. It's raining like a cow pissing on flat rock.
You're listening to Danny and Country Corey
We listen to you all the time.
on 98.1 The Max.
The rain has let up a little bit over here in the eastern area, Germantown and Carterville. How about right there in East Memphis?
Raining like a cow pissing on flat rock.
Really?
Yep. I swear the raindrops the size of $50.
Well, we do have more thunderstorms coming through. This is not the end of it. And unfortunately, it's been exactly a week since we had those last storms come through.
Yep.
And there are 27 different tornadoes that were spotted. And they are saying that we are under that same threat through tonight.
Yeah, later this afternoon is when they're expecting the big one.
So
the I guess the most potentially severe is what they're saying.
yeah, and last week we had to cancel all the vaccinations last Wednesday because of the rain threat.
Well, last night on the news ticker, there were schools threatening to close today because of it. And there were schools going to virtual only anyway. I saw a couple of those I know of.
And fortunately, we skated through this one or that one. So we may skate through this one as well, but be aware that the rain has not stopped. We are under a flood warning, and I will not say we're under a tornado watch, but we do have a threat for tornadoes through this evening. But tomorrow we should be wide open when the appointments are wide open. A lot of people I know have been wanting to know when they can get their vaccine because we've gone through phase 1, phase 2. You have to have this. You got to be this. You got to be 6 feet taller than the person with the left hand on a right hand. But tomorrow, all of Shelby County, it will be open to all of Shelby County for anyone 16 or older to get their vaccine. And the quicker everyone gets their vaccine, the quicker we move on, because they want us to be at about 85% vaccinated in Shelby County to move completely forward as in normal, or as we were in 2019.
And Dr. Threkeld, an infectious disease doctor, will be on us in just a few minutes. He's also a member of the Shelby County COVID Advisory Board, and he saved Danny's life one time.
He saved my life almost exactly 6 years ago and exactly a year ago for my father. So he is very dear to my family, but I know there's a lot of people in Shelby County that Dr. Threkeld and his family have taken care of, including Barbie. She texted in on our Rick's Powder Coating text line a question for Dr. Threkeld. You can do the same, 901-535-9898, and said that he did it for her daughter just last month. So the man is a saint. And you know what I like about him too? He's no BS.
Just a straightforward kind of guy. Coming up, we'll talk to him in about 7 minutes. Hang on. All right. Cool. Pretty soon we won't
another line of storms making.
Pretty soon we won't even play music.
Shut up.
What? You don't like that idea? That must be the programmer in you.
All right. Do you have anything ready for him?
No. Just questions.
I mean, you do have questions?
Oh, yeah, I've got questions.
Okay.
I do interviews differently. I just kind of have a frame of mind and then go after it. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong about that, but maybe I should prepare more for interviews, but I like strawberries.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to get my head wrapped around this.
Wrapped around what areas now?
All right, let's go after Mississippi Queen then, and so we don't have
98.1 The Max.
Hey, Steve Thurlkell calling for Danny.
Hey, Dr. Thurlkell, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. My name is Corey, and Danny's on with us too.
Hello, Doctor.
Hey.
Thanks for taking the time to come on with us today.
You bet, Danny. How are you?
I'm great. You look great in your commercial.
I haven't seen that one. That seems to be a stretch.
You getting any more rest these days?
It is slacking off a little bit. I mean, it is. It's which is awfully nice. We've seen a bit of an upturn the last few days, but overall, obviously, it's down. And gosh, we hope that's the trend that's going to keep going for sure. And I think everybody's kind of tired of this by now.
For real.
And just so you know, usually we record. We're going to go live in about 3.5 minutes.
Okay.
And we know that you'll be fine. It's us that usually stumbles through this, but we
I
did
will try not to cause any international incidents. So.
I am not willing to make that same promise.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, we had a listener text in that her daughter was in the hospital a few weeks ago, and they called you in, and you are such a nice man, doctor.
Isn't that nice? I appreciate that. I've been I had some surgeon in Philadelphia. He's been going after me on Twitter. A guy I'd never met after I said that the vaccines were okay in relation to our colleague that passed away some weeks ago after getting this weird immunologic syndrome. And this guy's like wearing it all over Twitter and interviews. I'm like, dude, you don't even, we've never met. It's like crazy. So you get all sides these days. Yeah,
no win. You can't win for losing, and no matter what side you're on.
That's exactly right. It's just all politicized these days, unfortunately. And so nobody's really going with what's out there. And both sides, really, I think.
Well, that article yesterday, that's what triggered me to call you, because and that's what we'll talk about you saying about the side effects. But down lower in that article, the demographics really threw me off. I played a game all day with people asking race, gender, and age. Who do you think's not getting the vaccine? And everybody was wrong. I thought that was the most interesting part of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to predict these things. It really is. And we just have to try to educate everybody, right? As much as we can.
I'm sure you're just overloaded though with just your personal friends. I bet they haven't left you alone questioning this, have they?
You know, I mean, my day probably, there are a whole lot of, doctors and healthcare workers that kind of, what do I do about my mother-in-law and those kind of things. And there's just a lot of things out there that we don't know. And I think that's part of our problem in educating people, is that we kind of say, you're ignorant, you don't understand, you need to do what I say. There are things we don't know. And I think we have to start with what we don't know, but we know enough now where we can answer a lot of questions reasonably. And, we can make a lot of headway. It's just that we have to admit when we're kind of taking what we do know and applying it to what we're not sure of yet.
Makes sense. But you know what?
Okay.
That's all that makes sense. There is no common sense left in the world.
Yeah, it's I actually made a slide one time years ago of something that Zeke said. I pulled over and wrote it down, and I use it in talks. And he was talking about Frieden, who was then the head of the CDC, and he said, Americans love vulnerability and humanity in their public figures. Not so much when that public figure stands between them and annihilation.
Very true.
I pulled over and wrote it down. I thought it was so good.
All right.
Well, I mean, we're seeing it now, and it's it just changes. Yeah. It changes daily, whether it's COVID or I don't know, humanity, China, Russia.
We're all polarized, and we come at it. We generally come at answers already having the answer, we think, rather than trying to go from what we don't know and getting to what we know. And that's the problem I think we face a lot of now.
You're exactly right. We come with what we want to know.
Yeah.
15 seconds.
All right.
You're listening to Danny and Country Corey on 98.1 The Max.
And we're joined by infectious disease doctor Stephen Threckeld, who is also the president of the medical staff at Baptist Hospital, Shelby County COVID Advisory Board. You've seen him on TV pretty much every day for the past year, getting us through coronavirus, explaining what it is, how to prevent it, how to treat yourself. And now we're on to the vaccines. And doctor, thank you for coming on.
Great to be with you guys. Thanks.
I noticed yesterday an article, and it really struck with me. And tomorrow being a huge day for Shelby County, I think it's one of our biggest days in the past year, with the vaccinations opening up for everyone that's over 16 years old can sign up for an appointment tomorrow. And you made a great point. A lot of people are worried about the side effects of the COVID-19 vaccine. And what you said yesterday about already we would see the side effects now, vaccines don't cause long-term side effects, really struck me. Will you explain to everyone about the side effects, if there are any?
Yeah, I mean, we have to be honest and know that there are side effects from vaccines. Some vaccines, like the live ones, yellow fever, people can get sick from those, to be sure, but they happen up front. There's just not really an experience in the past of people popping up with side effects 6 months later after a vaccine. And guess what? We've already seen those months in these trials, and it hasn't happened. It stayed safe and so forth. But let me tell you what hasn't been safe long-term. That is COVID-19. I mean, you saw the CEO of Texas Roadhouse Restaurant apparently a wonderful guy, take his own life last week because of the terrible neurologic side effects ringing in his ears and the like that he was suffering from COVID that he just couldn't cope with. So I see many, many people every day who have some serious side effects ongoing from the actual infection. I don't see anybody like that with the vaccine.
So are these people that had the virus, or is it just the atmosphere that's been created?
No, these people have had the virus, and they're real things. Neuropathic, burning, tingling, difficulty thinking. That taste and smell thing sometimes can last for a long, long time. And you think, well, that's not a big deal, but man, it is. You use that more than you think. So there are a lot of real side effects that can go on for a long time after the virus. But the vaccine, on the other hand, we don't see those, and they don't tend to pop up in any vaccine that we've ever noted 6 and 12 months later. And my biggest point is now that I just stress again and again, nobody dies that has been fully vaccinated. Nobody's even coming in the hospital. We're still seeing patients that come in the ICU and that die, but they're all people that haven't been vaccinated. That's the one common denominator here. So the solution here is to get the vaccine. It's our way out.
Dr. Threlkel is joining us in anticipation of everybody being able to sign up for a vaccine at 16 years old and older starting tomorrow in Shelby County.
I think one misconception maybe and why people are hesitant and back to the side effects is the vaccine for coronavirus made the same way? Does it go into your body the same way and do the same effects as other vaccines, as in the live virus, or are there differences?
Well, there are differences. I mean, the new RNA platform with both the Pfizer and the Moderna, the two first to be approved, were the first in the new RNA platform. Instead of giving pieces of a virus to put into people, whether they're live and adapted or they're killed and chopped up, we actually put in the genetic information to sneak in the side door of our kitchen and make our own chefs make these proteins ourselves. Now, the virus would be doing that anyway if it infected us and got us inside of ourselves, but we've tricked our own machinery to produce these proteins that are foreign and that the immune system then recognizes as foreign and says, hold on, we're going to attack this if we ever see it again. And it's an ingenious thing, and it's what allowed this thing to happen so fast. We took away months to years of having to grow up the virus, purify it, chop it up, adapt it, regrow it. All of that is what allowed us to get to these all-important clinical phase 3 trials so quickly. Now, there is, of course, the J&J vaccine, the Johnson & Johnson, which is similar to other technologies. It actually is a virus that can't replicate. It can't make copies of itself and make us sick. But it also, though, deposits the DNA gene for that protein, that same protein. It just does it one step back in the process that our body has to move in there. So they're similar, but that's really why that it's been so fast, and it opens up technology for cancer, for other infections. It's going to really be a new open door that's going to be a quantum leap forward in our vaccine technology.
Doctor, would it be safe to say that the vaccines, the reason that we don't have the live virus in it like the vaccines from the 50s, 60s, 70s is merely because it's 2020, 2021, and we've advanced? Is that safe to say?
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, the Moderna company has been around for 10 plus years doing nothing but advancing the mRNA vaccine technology. So it would have taken years to have had to deal with live vaccines and the like to be able to purify that, make adaptations that we're sure they wouldn't make us sick and we're still safe to put into people. So this allowed us to go much, much faster. And we can also, importantly, turn on a dime for the new mutations or variants. We can spit out a new vaccine booster in 6 weeks to adapt to this. And those trials are already underway. So we're already a whole lot more nimble with this new technology. We can adapt to the virus as it tries to adapt to us and hopefully stay ahead of that problem.
If somebody tells you that they just don't trust it, what would you say to that person?
Well, I think that, the most important thing I can say to them is that I do this all day long and I read about it all day long and I took it. So you voting with your feet, I think, is important here. And I think when you look at the numbers and you really have an open mind about it, it is a statistical no-brainer to the most important question. Are you more likely to be alive and healthy and have your family be alive and healthy 6 months from now, a year from now, if you get the vaccine or do not? And it's very clear that you're much safer to get the vaccine in that scenario. So I think that question is the most important one, and I think the answer is pretty clear at this point.
Yeah, and I love if someone says to me, "Well, I don't trust this vaccine because it wasn't made like other vaccines." I'm going to look at them and say, "Oh, do you still use a rotary phone with a really long cord in your kitchen?"
Exactly right. You know, the automobiles, phones, vaccines, everything has come a long way, and this technology is not new. There are other vaccines out there for rabies, for flu, attempts to make these RNA vaccines. But what's most important is these all-important safety and effectiveness trials were not cut short. They were among the most scrutinized clinical trials in history. They were. It's just that this new technology allowed us to get there a lot faster. No shortcuts were made at all in looking at the actual efficacy and safety. And they're so incredibly good. I mean, that was really, to me, the sunrise of this situation when we looked and saw the 95% effectiveness at even preventing minor illness, 100% effectiveness at preventing severe illness and death. I mean, to me, we could never have expected something like that. It's probably the biggest advance, the biggest accomplishment, in a generation of medicine. So it's an extraordinarily great thing.
Dr. Threckeld, an infectious disease doctor and member of the Shelby County COVID Advisory Board, is on with us. He saved Danny's life one time.
Yeah, and he saved a lot of lives here in Shelby County as well. And I appreciate your time and coming on and all that you've done. One final question from our listener. I thought this is great. How much time should be between shot 1 and shot 2? Is there a maximum time between the two, a minimum time?
Yeah. Now, let me say, just for the record, I'm actually not on the Shelby County board. I'm too busy sitting around the hospital treating patients. So I don't have the meeting time. So I'm kind of this is the day job for me. But so in general, I think, you want to get it according to the manufacturer kind of plan and the way the trials were done, because when a recipe tastes this good, you cook by the recipe. But if you do have a forced interval where it takes longer to get your second vaccine, you don't have to start over. And it probably lasts for some time. We just don't have great information whether 6 months from now that first vaccine of the two would still be protecting you adequately. We just don't know that yet. So it's better to go ahead and get the second one 3 or 4 weeks later, depending on which vaccine you're getting, just as the trials were designed, if you can.
All right. And we just got a question in from Eric. It said, as he's asking, I took the Pfizer shot and got real sick after the first shot. Should I take the second shot?
Well, what that would tend to mean to me is that he may have actually had natural infection and didn't know about it, because the people who get kind of ill after the first shot tend to be folks who actually had COVID-19 and may not have realized it. And in most of those people, the second shot is not severe at all. They tend to kind of burn out on that and not get as sick. Now, it depends. If somebody has tongue swelling and what we call anaphylaxis, immediate kinds of symptoms within 15 minutes of the shot, then that's different. You should check with your doctor about that, because you may not want to get that second vaccine. But if you just got fever and really felt bad for a day or two, that's okay to get the second shot. And it just, as the saying goes, that tingling means it's working. And so I know you can feel kind of bad with those shots, but generally those people who get it after the first one don't have much problem with the second vaccine on average.
So is this something I need to look into, or anyone, before I sign up for the vaccine? Is there a certain vaccine I should take over another one? Or if you have a medical problem, should you read about all of them before you decide which one is right for you?
In general, I think they're all so good, and they're also safe from what we've seen. The three that are available, I think the correct vaccine is the first one you can get. And so I don't really distinguish. One might say that the Johnson & Johnson had a little bit lower numbers at preventing mild disease, but remember, it was done at a different time during a surge where variants were going around. So it's not an apples and apples comparison. I think that the key element is that all three of them are essentially 100% effective at preventing you from being hospitalized in the ICU and dying from COVID. After that, everything else is noise, I think.
Awesome. I think you've helped a lot of people out, including myself. I don't see a reason why we shouldn't all get America's best shot at getting back to work and getting back to normal. And most importantly, back to concerts, Doctor.
so true. So true.
That's our entire goal. Dr. Threckeld, thank you very much. We certainly appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys. Great to be with you.
Have a great day.
Take care.
Wow. So that was good. That was that was very informative, by the way. And now everybody's starting to text. All right, well, Wow, I don't even know what's coming up next. I'm blown away. I'm really blown away at how intelligent you are, Danny Bruns.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's good to know because I know what questions to ask.
Because you're smart and research stuff, I guess.
Well, I do my research and my homework, but also they're real questions. Now, and that's what I love about Dr. Threckhout. He does not judge. He does not play a political part in anything. He understands why people do have doubts and the questions are real. People aren't just not getting it because they don't want to. There's actual fear in people.
Yeah, there's real apprehension.
And that fear is real. So he likes to address it. And with everything he said in numbers, there's no reason not to get the vaccine. And, that's not my opinion, and you can have your own opinion, but that's why we brought Dr. Threckhout on today to make you guys feel more comfortable about it because people are still doubting it. But tomorrow, floodgates, well, we got flooding today with the weather, and then the floodgates open tomorrow with your appointments for Shelby County. If you are 16 and older, you can get your appointment starting tomorrow for next week, and it's open to everyone.
All right, so yeah, I get bogged down sometimes. All right, so we're gonna come out of this break and just start talking again. What are we gonna do?
Well, I mean, if you look at the time, this is where you remember I said we probably have to
combine them.
Yeah.
You want to do that? Just combine these two and play. Maybe we should have plenty of music on the other side of that, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I'd play a song between the two.
Oh, you don't want to just make it one break?
No.
Oh.
Because that'll be 6 minutes.
Oh.
That quarter hour will have 6 minutes of ba 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 ba. Oh man. So what did we learn about that? We need to have an out. I'm not touching it. Go. I need to do Homer. That rush need here. I take.
Go ahead.
This should put us where we need to be.
Pretty close, yeah.
Oh, Eric says the shot nurse on Poplar is be in and out in 15 minutes. Very good people to get your COVID shot. Well, I'm not announcing that, Eric, because I need to get in and out.
Then I'm asking the hard-hitting questions.
What do you mean?
I asked Eric if it was free there. I'll damn sure grab Margo and head over there today. Well, tomorrow, I guess. Next week, whatever. All right. Are we breaking here and just going from song into the spots?
Why don't we figure out what we're doing and just do a quick tease?
We got Senseless Survey at night at 10 after 9.
Oh, he's calling at 9, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm sending him a thing. All right. Never mind.
What? What?
Oh, I guess we go after the song. What?
Every time I go to that Futury thing, the brakes are all jacked up. It's never the whole brake. It's or it's split up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just go to the skimmer then.
That's what I'm doing. That is what I'm doing.
For Mary Deaton, what did you say earlier that made me laugh so hard?
That's what that senseless survey felt like. You have a great laugh.
Oh, Mary Deaton. Best boss was one of mine that used to go across the street from the jail and bail out one of the employees at least 3 times a month for being drunk.
That's a good boss.
Thing one is still at home because she has a little bathroom issue we're trying to take care of, and then we'll take her to school. So, like, I'm in the middle of that with Threckeld, already nervous, and she's down here writing me notes. I'm like, stop.
She was behind you, and
Yeah, did you see her?
yeah, she would sneak and get like right behind you. I don't know, and then she kept going in the same direction, but I never saw her come out.
That's funny.
It's funny.
She's so concerned because she could see my calendar. What is Macy GBL on your calendar? Softball practice, honey. Don't worry. I don't love your sister more than you. Okay, so give me a question from Senseless Survey. How long do you look at yourself in the mirror?
And what is your favorite part of the BLT? Does your fantasy team have more football glasses do you have with fake eyes?
I mean, how many pairs of glasses do you have with fake eyes painted on them?
And then say, also, Elton John turned 74 today. We'll hear from him.
You're listening to Danny and Country Corey on 98.1 The Max.
Corey, how many pairs of glasses do you have eyes painted on them?
3 or 4, 7.
Find out with the Senseless Survey coming up next. Also, we'll celebrate Rocket Man, Elton John's birthday. Bought him a cake and everything.
All right, so now we're ready for a couple minutes with Tavin. And how are we doing that? Are we going to do?
We'll do StreamYard. I'll go. Let's come back in 3 minutes.
Okay.
Bev Hart here with Shaq from Homer Skelton Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Millington. And did you say truck month?
We sure did say truck month. Motor Trend Truck of the Year, back
to back
to back 3 times. Truck of the Year, new Ram 1500, 0%, 72 months or 84 months. You choose. If a Ram truck's not your thing, we've got 0% financing on new Jeep Cherokees, Grand Cherokees, Compass, Renegades, Challengers, Chargers, even the new Durango. To Homer Skelton, CDJ.com. See why we're a bunch of normal guys in the car business, changing lives 4 tires at a time.
Here I am, baby. Come and take me. Here I am, baby.
.98.1 The Max, WXM.
Wow, that scared the bejesus out of me.
Mr. Dimmick wrote back, "You need a life if not sending this report keeps you up at night." You ready to record?
Mm-hmm. We have to keep this conversation focused, or it'll take a long, long time to edit. Well, I mean, we don't have to. Okay, we're not editing this for today, so never mind. Is he cool with being on Facebook Live?
I'm assuming. You got the questions ready? Thank you, baby.
Where are they?
The ones, baby, we're in the middle of something. Okay. The ones that we did
You have that.
for the kids. He emailed all the answers back. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the email.
Yes.
I got it up now.
I sent the link, right?
What?
Just making sure I sent the link to him.
Next day it rains like this, I'm calling in sick. All right, I'm going to close the zip whip so we don't get the noise.
I'll close it now too. Oh, kitty, here he comes, the Tavin Dillard.
Bank. Morning, y'all.
Bink.
What's new?
Hey, Tavin, I was thinking about you the other day for St. Patrick's Day. It's an oldie but goodie making the rounds again about the leprechaun down in Mobile, Alabama. You ever seen that video?
Oh, yeah. They saw a leprechaun up in a tree, right?
Yeah.
That's right. And that amateur sketch made me think of you and one of your drawings. Do you remember that amateur sketch?
Yeah, I don't know how much that guy got paid, but he should have got paid a lot more. That thing auctioned off on eBay for a pretty penny these days. I speak from experience. Those things will go quicker than you think.
So I saw your video, Tavin, of your ingredients or your recipe reveal on your shirt. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it a great deal. We made BLTs that day.
Oh, that's awesome. I think there's something to it if you wear a recipe on your shirt, because people always ask me, where's that thing at? And you get it on index cards and you drop grease on it. I mean, at least if you drop grease on this thing, you throw it in a washer. Good luck throwing an index card in a washer. You know?
What it says, toast, two
pieces of toast, mayo, big spoon.
Yeah, and bacon, more. And so that's it. This is just the BO. Now, what you're talking about is the BLT, which is a very popular food item, but I just go for the BO, bacon only. And then, yeah, you just need this if it's just for you. Just toast 2 pieces. Spoon is big enough, and the way the size I give on the video is if an adult blue jay can sit in a spoon, it's big enough. If it can't, then you need a bigger spoon. And then bacon, you're just going to add more next time, every time.
Every time. So the reason that we had you on today is because our daughters are loving this TikTok. My daughter got one video that got like 2 million views.
Oh my goodness.
And so she is going crazy.
Sure.
And Danny's daughter is making TikToks left and right. We were wondering if you had any advice we could pass on to them.
Oh yeah. They got to figure out what they doing. Cause is your daughter a cook? They get 5 million views, 2 million views for being a chef. Then you're good to go. You just say, what's the next recipe? And if they ain't a cook, I learned, you can figure it out anyway. Look at that recipe. I mean, it's the simple 3-step recipe. If they a dancer, they liable to hurt their knee and then they out of business. So you got to be careful if you're just going to put all your eggs in the dance baskets, the way I look at it. So they just got to figure out what they going to do good and then do it so much that you might get tired of it.
I'm already tired of it.
Right. That's the thing.
So Tavin, you're saying that if they find a niche, kind of stick to that niche. Don't just be general.
Yeah, but then, it's like, if you a jack of all trades. Now, I did one on fishing tips yesterday. It got a little traction. And so you got to at least sound like you know what you're talking about. And then people are like, well, there's something to that kind of thing. But yeah, you stay in your lane a little bit. That may be part of it. And then, as a parent, if you got a kiddo that really loves TikTok, well, then what you have now is leverage. So you say, hey, you want to go on to TikTok? Why don't you go make the family some supper kind of thing?
That's a good idea, actually. We could have BO for everybody.
That's right. Unless they can't cook, then you don't throw them in the kitchen. Then that might be bad for everybody. But you know what I mean? Maybe they can cut the grass or clean the shower. I don't know.
Something like that. Tavin, that's what we wanted to ask you. We certainly appreciate you taking a couple of minutes and coming on with us for this.
Well, hopefully that'll help, to all the TikTokers out there. And you're going to need a camera. I mean, if you try to TikTok on a flip phone or something, you're going to have a hard time.
What kind of phone do you use?
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was stuff for TikTok.
You
Rotary.
gotta it took me a long time, boy. I shot about 7 videos with this before I realized it ain't a recorder. So, but yeah, you
It's
just
got
do
a
it.
phone on a wall.
Hey,
Yeah, that's all. It's a step up from a rotary, but it's a step down from a TikTok camera.
one more question that's kind of out there, being pretty popular right now. Have you gotten vaccinated?
No, I ain't gotten vaccinated yet. I don't. I did a video about St. Patrick's Day about not wanting to get pinched because I wore green. My buddy Russell Tucker's like, "Why don't you go get a tattoo of something green and then you always there?" And I was like, "Well, I can't imagine that a tattoo hurt any less than a pinch, so I ain't going that way." But I ain't got around to it yet. What about y'all? Are y'all fully healthy and ready to go?
Not yet, but we are making appointments because we are now officially everybody 16 and older can get them.
That's great. So y'all guys can be in the studio together.
Maybe one day.
Not necessarily. Have you not listened, Tavin? Just because you're vaccinated does not give you the right to do anything.
Okay, and you can't sneeze on anybody.
Which has been discouraged for generations.
It really has. You sneeze into your elbow, but now you just sneeze into your home where you're just by yourself in your studio.
Right? Just sneeze out in the open. Thank you, Tavin. We appreciate your time, buddy.
All right, y'all have a good one.
You too, bud.
Babe.
We'll see you.
I kind of felt like I needed it since he got up so early. Didn't want to waste his time. And I think we could use that in 2 different parts. You saw him, huh? Josie just asked me if that was the guy from TikTok. Yeah, we asked him advice. He's going to give you all advice on how to be a successful TikToker since he's got so many followers.
Okay.
Can you cook?
Maybe.
Great. We need some biscuits.
Is your dad back yet?
No, I thought he was because I heard a truck noise. And then the garage was closed. I didn't see his car out there. So I was like, so I just dug that whole thing for nothing.
Is Willie in his cage?
That's why I'm bringing him this.
Okay. Go sit with him for me.
Yeah, I was.
All right, you feeling better? Like I can take you to school here in a while?
Maybe.
Well, no one's going to be here, so you're going to have to go to school.
What do you mean?
I have things to go do, and so does your father.
So, does that mean I either have to go to school or
Stay here and take care of Willie by yourself. Are you not capable of doing that?
how do I take care?
Baby, I'm just kidding. Go on down there. I'll see you in a minute.
Do you know where tape is?
No. Oh, for that? I got to work, baby. I can get you some tape in a minute. Oh, my God, dog. Where's the top now? Dogs. I didn't want them. If you're going to sit over here and write, I need you to put the pens up, baby. The dog doesn't need to have... No, I have not looked at it. I'm trying to work. I don't know where some tape is. Do not climb up on that counter. Look in the red things down on that desk downstairs. The red things with the glue and markers and stuff. Thank you. It never ends.
Oh, and they grow up and it still keeps going. So we only have one thing for music news. Give me the Elton John audio.
Yeah, that's all I got.
It's in here.
No, I'll put it over there, but I'm saying no, that's all I got.
All right, I'll check that.
Oh, I can't play it from here. I was saying I'll play it from here, but we can't.
Gene Simmons bought a new house.
Cool. Let's talk about it.
Prince's ashes are on display.
Cool. Let's talk about it. I think that that Threckeld interview could go right up in that public file of ours.
I believe you're right.
It is raining again.
Yep. Did you see about that kid that killed himself? The kid from Talladega Nights?
Mm-hmm.
Sad.
Yeah, I guess that was his only movie. I wonder if he wanted to be a famous person.
All right.
Or they do what?
I put those stories, the Prince and the Gene Simmons story up.
Okay. Because him living in Pelham, Alabama, they may have just gone and tried to find a redneck kid for that part, you know?
I'm willing to bet that's what happened. Is they went and found a couple redneck kids. This guy was in the army, and I think they said he was like an HVAC guy after that. It was like Ross. Where is that Elton John audio? Is it on Delicious?
I have it in there. It's in there now. Oh, sorry. I put it in the wrong thing. Hang on. Well, I know it exists in the liners folder, but I don't want it there. So put it in both.
Did you hear this? The husband kept track of the reasons why his
Yeah.
wife no to end. Did you listen to it? Listen to this. This is hysterical.
During the last year, I have
yes, I did. Yes.
up to you
I love him.
365
On that show that he's on, What We Do in the Shadows, he is awesome. I love that guy. He's got a great speaking voice.
It's in there. I'm really confused.
Don't be.
Oh, senseless. Okay. I could not figure out where we were in the clock in my head, and Tavin. It's like a dream at this point, isn't it?
I know today feels
like Carson was yesterday.
Yeah, like what are we doing? I don't even know.
It's been jam filled, packed.
It usually is, isn't it? I think we're doing a pretty good job.
What do you think, you one person watching us?
Hi, Morgan. Just like the way we're coming at this every day. Thank you, Tim. He answered. Tim answered.
Answered what? Oh, he did?
Yeah. The one person listening.
Thanks, Tim.
Troll Tim with some positive reinforcement. Margot's so damn spoiled. She sleeps.
Why?
She sleeps till noon if she wants to.
Right.
Just hangs around. What is that emoji? Oh, is that a high emoji? A wave? I can't tell. Yep. Hi.
John liked our doctor segment today. He must have been listening.
Damn it.
Yep.
Wow. I need one of those money guns and some money to put in it. 25 seconds. Oh, Kitty, here we go.
It's Danny and Country Corey
The best, baby!
on 98.1 The Max.
Who isn't an Elton John fan? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller?
I don't know.
Do you like him?
Oh, yeah, I like Elton John. Selected cuts. I mean, I don't really consider myself an Elton John fan, but I mean, he's got some good songs. Crocodile Rock's a fun song. Rocket Man.
Yeah. Well, he turned 74 today. That doesn't
Wow.
it doesn't seem
74.
I know, and he still seems to be rocking it on stage, right?
He seems to be like, he's just in great shape, I guess.
Unlike Prince, who has left us.
Ouch. Paisley Park is going to display Prince's ashes. Officials say the museum will allow 1,400 people inside the venue for a 30-minute visit on April 21st, which will be the 5th anniversary of Prince's death. And that seems like a long time, too. Tickets are available at paisleypark.com. There will also be an online memorial.
I was going to ask, what would you go in there for 30 minutes and look at his ashes and say, that seems weird? However, I've done it at least 12 times, and people come from all around the world to look at Elvis Aaron Presley's gravesite.
So, yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Your buddy's moving. In unrelated news, your buddy's moving. Gene Simmons.
Oh man, he was telling me about this.
I know he got that new house in Malibu. 3-bedroom, 4-bathroom property. You ready for how much it costs? $5.8 million.
That's it.
Bargain basement price. Malibu's the slum now. It's the hood, the ghetto.
It's
Pretty
the
cool
Bronx.
though. This house has got a 360-degree view of the mountains and the sea, plus a brand new pool and a Baja shelf for sunbathing. I don't know what that is.
It's a Baja shelf for sunbathing. You know,
Oh,
it's Baja.
Yeah.
You know, you get your mojo from the Baja.
My guess is that you lay on it.
Yeah, I would think so. In the nude.
Oh, is that what it is? You got to do it. Is that one of those where you stick your butt toward the sun?
Yes. And then it's called Ain't No Fun Where the Sun Don't Shine.
But you want everything to be fun, so you put the sun out there. All right.
You put the sun out there, take your clothes off, and then you get on the Baja shelf and get your mojo. You got it? Is it all coming back to you?
It is. It is. So we're celebrating Elton John's birthday with all of his hits jammed into one 60-second montage.
Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yeah.
Do you want to hit DCC and then say coming up next, keeping track of your spouses, or do you want to hold that story? Keeping track of how many times your spouse said no to sex.
Oh, let's do that. Let's do that next.
Okay.
It's Danny and Country Corey
The best, baby!
on 98.1 The Max.
Corey, do you keep track of how many times your wife says yes or no to the deed?
It would take a gigantic 5-subject notebook if I did.
Well, this guy did. He wrote them all down and has how many times she said no and what the excuses are.
That's coming up in minutes. Not bad. Oh, boy. Just feels like there's a lot going on today, doesn't it? Like in the show. Just feels like it's all moving in buttons.
It is. It does. I feel like it's rolling on all cylinders, though, buddy.
Yep.
What are we doing with Ross?
Nothing. Gonna give him life advice. We're gonna.
Oh, she took my phone. Of course she did.
It's the whole reason she came in there. The Today Show, we're just watching an old lady laugh. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Look how much body my hair has.
During
I've considerably cut back my caffeine intake. Amazing what happens when you pretty much stop drinking sodas. You see that picture I texted you yesterday?
No. Hold on. Is it I'm at a loss or I'm at a lost? I'm at a loss, right?
LOSS, yeah.
Okay.
98.1, the max. Hello. All right. What are you at a loss about?
I can't say on this thing. We'll get shut down.
Okay. All right, and thing got your phone, right?
Oh, ding dong dang. Yeah. What is it?
The picture that I sent you yesterday.
Oh, yeah, the clock.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a clock. You don't like it?
I like it, but are you trying to tell me to stay on time because I'm always late?
No, but now that you mention it, that's a pretty good idea. Now, if you got a clock, then you, my God, there's no excuse.
What is the thing behind the clock? A battery, I'm sure. But I mean, what is the story behind it?
That my mother-in-law wanted to start making acrylic pour paintings.
Yeah.
And then she decided to make a few clocks, and she made you and me one.
Oh, cool.
That clock's for you, by the way.
Oh,
I just want to make sure you liked it.
I love it.
I like it a lot better now that I know it's mine.
Now that I know it's mine, it's rocks. What a great idea, though, for her to do that.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. Mine looks like the cover of a Metallica album, all red, white, and black. It's cool.
Ooh.
Matches the kitchen wall. So that's where I put it.
I'm gonna need you to be real quiet for a minute. Mute yourself.
You mute yourself.
I like my date stuff for tomorrow. Just go ahead and make it Friday.
Well, if you're planning on using it tomorrow, it's okay to date it for tomorrow. Then you're living in the future. 5 seconds.
Oh, God. You know what we're doing, right?
Yep.
It's Danny and Country Corey.
Listen to it every day. Kicks ass. Can't get no better.
On 98.1 The Max.
There was a live show last year in London where people read somebody else's love letters. The best one was not quite a love letter, but still really funny. Guy wrote it to his wife, listing all the reasons in the past year she said no to his request for sexy time. You know, like wives do.
That he kept track of it.
I love it. I love it too. The guy that plays Laszlo on What We Do in the Shadows, Matt Berry, this is him doing a dramatic reading of that list.
During the last year, I have attempted to make love to you 365 times. The following is a list of reasons why I did not succeed. It's too hot, 15 times. It's too late, 16 times. Pretending to sleep, 35 times. It will make the cat jealous, 18 times. I'm too drunk, 17 times. Is that all you think about? 83 times.
Let's let last one also. Is that all you think about? That's what I hear a lot.
all the Carpenter hears is dolphins every day.
Okay.
No.
Wow, I literally did not get that. I thought I was supposed to for a second there. Oh, damn, that's funny.
Ooh. That ain't good right after that. Boom.
What do you mean that ain't good right after? What do you mean?
What's playing right now?
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. You never close it. You never hit done.
Oh, God, I know, right?
Drives me crazy. You go messing with it, and then I look over there, and it's still open, and I'm like, I need to send Ross the link.
Oh, Grunge, you wrote it down. Damn it. Did I turn my page? Turn. Yes, I did.
Oh, no.
We're getting kicked off.
Keep doing that, we will.
Promise.
What I was
About 80.
Well, that's what I.
All the Carpenter hears is dolphins every day.
Is that the promo?
You want it to be?
Sure.
I was thinking about a character. Let me see. All the Carpenter hears is dolphins every day.
I mean, that guy kept track is only 30 seconds long. That the whole thing could probably be the promo.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
There was a live show.
This new every.
There was a live show last year in London where people, like wives do,
that he kept track of it.
I love it. I love it too. The guy that plays Laszlo on.
During the last year, I have attempted to make.
Let's let last one also. Is that all you think about? That's what I hear a lot.
Dolphins every day.
Okay.
Done.
Done and done. You're really fast at that stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm sending it to you to put in the shell.
I don't care. I have to make the new shell. I didn't make a shell yesterday. I just made the promo. Forgot, man. I sat around waiting on you all day and totally forgot about that Carson interview. I mean, I could have edited that at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I totally forgot about it. So I did it at like 8 o'clock.
It was good though. I can't even tell it was edited. Meaning, like,
there really wasn't a whole lot of editing there because it just flowed so well. You know what I mean? We're just so damn good that. And I loved that we had Ross on for like the entirety of the 7 o'clock hour.
Right?
Supporting that whole we're hanging out all the time thing. Knowing Ross hates me. He better not after he sent me a spot at 10 o'clock last night. He better love me. He better get on here and be like, my man.
Sounds just like him.
What?
You said it just like him. My man.
My man.
There he is. Let's see. He can hear us.
My man.
My man.
Man, I need a Pantera shirt.
That's why I wore it. Apparently somebody was talking about Pantera yesterday. I was like, oh, I'll bust out that.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because he locked the studio door, broke the key off, and had Pantera playing.
Got the memory of an elephant. How we doing today?
You're not tired, are you? I mean, you've been on the show, Will, pretty much all morning.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome.
The whole 7 o'clock hour was you were a part of.
I slept for 11 hours last night.
Oh, yeah.
I broke down like at 10 o'clock last night. I just went, just crashed. That's why we were like, no podcast yesterday. I was like, oh, you angel. You angel.
At this point, I can see that it is, in fact, a pickle.
Okay. Things taken out of context.
Oh, so many. How about?
Again, we can't go around killing babies.
All right, you want to start that?
Skulls are softer now than they used to be.
Skulls?
Yeah.
What's a skull? Like
skull, like your head.
Oh, skulls.
Yeah, skull.
I thought skull, like
I was talking about
wintergreen.
Snuff, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't like meat out of a tube? Just lick.
Does your church allow foam fingers?
Honestly, if they don't do that at like the Liberty Church of Christ, with the one with the what's the one with the what's it called, the Statue of Liberty out front?
Oh yeah,
right.
That place deserves foam fingers. That would be great.
I'm not going to pay for it. Sounds like something you should get antibiotics for.
Oh, this is a good one of mine. I don't know. I don't know.
I love that. Love it.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know what I never could find that FedEx spot on V Creative, so I just sent it to you and Krista. I don't know.
Yeah, no, thanks. And then just for her to like ask that at like 8 o'clock last night, and then for her to say, "No, do the one that Abby did." I'm like, all right, whatever, dude. I was like, okay. So you did a little work for nothing. I'm sorry.
Awesome.
I know.
That's not that big a deal.
No.
You gonna talk about the mom showing up with a boxing glove,
dude?
Yep, we want to talk about that. Okay, perfect.
Dude, me and my friend broke that one down yesterday. We went state by state which women should have, because she had one boxing glove on.
Hold on.
I love this lady. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I wasn't prepared. All right, cool. There's an extra sip of coffee.
You weren't prepared for that, huh?
Oh man,
the Rocky theme.
No, I was just thinking that story. I was reading that last night. Every once in a while, a story comes across, and you just do that. You just you just put both your arms up, and you're ready to go.
Right.
I want to know what you have to do to get your boss to pull your pants down.
You just play that.
Don't play the Rocky theme on Facebook.
Yeah, get booted.
Oh my God, I'm not even.
Got a notification yesterday that I think you guys played something and I got booted off.
We get a notification every day.
Cool.
We're rebels.
Yeah, we're pissing off the Facebook man. Can I whistle it?
I want to know what you have to do to get your boss to pull your pants down. The best for today.
Great. Do the TPS reports without it being asked.
Right? One of the Bobs will have a meeting with you if you do that.
Hey, Bob. Bob.
Bob.
I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob.
It's Danny and Country Corey.
Freaking amazing.
On 98.1 The Max.
Joined with our good buddy, Ross Turner. Man, Ross, thanks for getting up early today. You've been with us since 7 a.m.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure.
Did you hear about that mom in Jacksonville? She's facing charges after she showed up to her daughter's school with one boxing glove on.
What a gem.
Yeah, she claimed it was super glued to her hand, and then she went on and beat up a kid.
Well, all right. So I heard that she went and met with the vice principal because her daughter had been in a fight with another student, didn't like how the meeting went, and then got the boxing glove, went into the cafeteria, found the girl, and started decking her.
Punched her right in the face?
Went after her.
Oh, my God.
I was so proud of this mom. I was so proud and
Really?
terrified at the same time. But here's the thing. She only had one glove on, which means she had one grip hand and then one swinging hand. So she could hold on to her and just start clocking her. And I can't think of one parent that has not wanted to beat the hell out of another student that was messing with their kid.
Well, you want to.
Well, what I had heard
Okay.
is that the student that she beat up put super glue in the glove and convinced the mom to put it on.
Okay.
So now the glove was super glued to her and she was mad, so she beat her up.
Also a logical. All right, I got mine from the New York Post. So
what I heard is she was a crackhead and found the boxing glove under the bridge while she was on her way to get some crack, and then the school was between the bridge and the crack house, so she had to get. I don't know. I'm just making.
What I had heard is she didn't even have a student there.
What I heard,
she wanted to kick some ass. I love it. Yeah.
Well, and then she was mad because she thought Evander still said no.
Oh,
yeah. Well, he said yes, apparently. So we'll see. We'll see.
What's coming up after 10, Ross?
Man, I forgot. What are we doing? God, what did I do? I don't know. It's something fun, something exciting. I forgot the tease. This messed me up. This messed me up.
We flustered him.
Ross Turner will be funny just after 10 o'clock. All right.
What was it? I have no idea.
Oh, well.
It's like me in the middle of a break that we've just planned out, and then we're halfway through it, and I start sweating because I'm like, what did we say we were going to do?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. We had a plan.